Big Bacon. Welcome back to the secret underground bacon bunker for another episode of Big Bacon's Collection. I'm your host, Big Bacon. Today we're going to review a Marvel Legends figure. This figure came from the Iron Man 3 movie. We have the Mandarin, or Trevor Slattery, however you want to refer to him. This figure came as part of a 3-pack with some fancy Iron Man armor and Pepper Potts. I picked this figure up loose from a Facebook Live sale, and the gentleman who sold it to me from Collector's Castle, fair price, shipped it reasonably quick, well packaged. But apparently, during both his feed and me actually watching, neither of us noticed something about this figure. But regardless, I still think it's a great looking figure, so we're going to go ahead and review it today. Now, as far as accessories go, I don't believe this figure actually had any in the pack. I might be wrong, but oh well. This is what I have, the base figure. So, without any further ado, what do you say we step in and take a look? So, the Mandarin was portrayed by Sir Ben Kingsley. And let me tell you something right now. That is Sir Ben Kingsley with a big beard. I see the likeness. I think it's pretty damn good. Now, if it wasn't somebody so venerable, I'd rip this head off, cut off this funky little ponytail, paint the rest of the hair gray, and fatten the cheeks, and it would be me. I digress, though. The face sculpt is amazing. The paint is on point. Got all the age marks, the forehead wrinkles, lines around the eyes. Got the graying in the beard. Even the ears are well sculpted on this figure. The hair itself is accurate to the film. Short cut along the sides, longer in the back, pulled up into some really funky millennial man bun looking thing. Now, this overlay, this long coat, neither of us actually noticed an issue with this until it actually arrived. If you look, something got a hold of this figure. And that's not the worst area. I mean, it gnawed on this thing good. But given that this is what will be seen above the top of the rest of the figures, I'm fine with it. This overlay is a fairly soft, rubbery plastic. Got this beautiful gold work along the front and on the collar. The hood is sculpted into this. And the whole thing has this sort of shiny leather-like quality to it. I mean, there's a little bit of texturing to it. But then it's also got this really intricate, I guess it's supposed to be Asian-themed embroidery all over it. Extends down to the cuffs. We've got this gold wrapping and this sort of green paint. And it looks good. Of course, as the leader of the 10 rings, he has 10 rings. The sleeves are actually molded onto the arms, but it continues the look of the jacket nicely. Underneath, you've got this Eastern style wrap type shirt with a black undershirt. And actually, that is a separate piece. If you look closely, you can actually see the seam, and through it you can see skin tone. So I don't know if this is reuse of something and they just filled a gap with a piece of plastic, but that's interesting. I never noticed that till now. The belt is another example of this Asian style look. We have these camo pants, which upon looking at it, I don't know if this was actually company painted or if this was custom done. I need to look at a couple stock photos and compare them. Because, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you can see how thick it is in some areas, how thin it is in others. And it stops almost exactly dead center on the side of the leg. So it's only painted where it will be visible. Regardless of the paint, the pants have their own sort of natural fabric texture to them. Have the molded on cargo pockets. Come down here, we've got these black combat boots, which, you know, if you're going to be a militant terrorist, you know, you got to go with the black leather combat boots. So articulation wise, we have a ball joint at the top of a hinge. So what this gives us is it gives us some really good up. But at the same time, because of the beard, we have virtually no down. Got side to side, a little bit of rocking, and that's caused by the amount of gap inside the head itself there. Shoulders come up to 90. They do rotate. This rubbery piece does get out of the way fairly well. We have a single hinged pinless joint on the elbow, which for the time this came out isn't bad. Rotation at the elbow. The hands do have rotation, but whether or not they have any actual hinging, I can't tell because they are recessed back into this cuff. And as such, it really restricts any kind of movement. We have a ball joint at the waist, which allows for some side-to-side rotation. No forward bend, no back bend, no tilt. If you move the jacket out the way, you can get the leg out that far. Get it forward that far. Side cut for rotation. Double jointed knee, but once again, because of the placement of the jacket, you're not going to be able to utilize the full extent of it without some work. There's no boot cut on this. Foot doesn't hinge forward at all because of the sculpt. Hinges back pretty good. And there is a front side rocker. So, it's nice to have Ben Kingsley. I personally would have loved to have gotten one from Shang-Chi. I think that would have been a fun figure to have. But for now, let's get him prepared, get him on the shelf, and ready to go. Now, his peg holes are really big. That's what she said. So, getting him to stay on the stand is going to be a bit of an issue, but everybody gets a stand in this household. So, let's get him into place. And there he is, next to, fittingly enough, Snake Eyes. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment. Any advice you can give. Once I get this top row filled in, I got this side done. But once I get it filled in, I do plan on putting some overhead lighting in there, which will drastically improve the view. But until then, we've got what we got. So I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.